Hi everyone, it's Melanie, and I'd like to talk with you guys today about something that pretty much everybody's going to go through at one point or another throughout your lives, and that is how to cope with the end of a relationship. What do we do, and how do we survive? Last Friday night at 10 o'clock, my cell phone didn't ring like it usually does, nor did it ring on Saturday night or even Sunday night. By Monday, I went and knocked on my boyfriend's door. Tony, my boyfriend of the last 4 years, decided then to finally tell me, Melanie, I know you want me there with your son and your family every night, but to be honest, he stammered, I just don't want to be there anymore. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt you. Well, for me, that meant that 4 years of a relationship had come to an end. I gave myself a couple days to cry and mope, and I quickly realized I have too much going for me to be depressed and moping around. But I really didn't even know where to go from here and how to cope. So I quickly did an internet search, and it wasn't long before I came across a website. The website is called Getting Past Your Breakup. The author of a book by the same name is called Susan Elliott. Now, who's Susan Elliott, I thought, and is she some expert on breakups? Well, I quickly started reading her biography, and I discovered that she really is an expert on relationships, and from her own experience. Susan was given up for adoption at the age of 7 by her biological mother. What rejection, can you imagine? She was adopted pretty quickly, but unfortunately for her, she was adopted by a couple who were both alcoholics and abusive. This led to her having a very rough set of teenage years, and she made poor decisions. Before she knew it, she woke up one morning in her late 20s, the mother of 3 young boys, with a husband who was cheating on her. She decided right then and there, for her, she needed to get out of this relationship, and she needed to rebuild her life. As scary as it was, that's exactly what she did. And rebuild her life, did she ever? What a successful woman she has gone on to become. She is a corporate attorney currently, but she also has a degree in English and a doctorate degree in psychology. She's a grief counselor, lecturer, educator, and a blogger. Her blog by the same name, Getting Past Your Breakup, is wildly successful and popular on the internet. I immediately purchased her book on my Kindle, and I learned that she discusses 3 major things that we can do to help us to move forward in a relationship. There are 3 stages we're going to go through. The first stage is learning to take care of ourselves again. A lot of times when we're in a relationship, we kind of slack a little bit. We get caught up in the relationship and we don't take as well care of ourselves as we need to. So start anew. Develop an exercise program if you don't have one. Eat right. Get plenty of rest. Just making yourself feel better physically can go a long way toward helping your emotional health as well. And work on your own personal goals. For me, I'm going back to college. In my 40s, I'm becoming a photographer and starting a whole new career in something that I love. And establishing a support system is also an important part of taking care of yourself. Who do you talk to? Who do you call in those weak moments that you know you're going to have when you want to contact that ex? For me personally, I have a sister who lives with me, and I also recently joined a local photography group, and I've met a couple of the people in the group to take pictures together and actually even go for walks together. It's been a great experience. Now the second part, and the longest part in getting over a relationship, is working through the grief process. Now, grieving is a process that we've been taught, at least I was, that it's in stages, anger, denial. Well, Susan says it's not the way it is. There really isn't any steps that you get over successfully in a certain order. It's more a random process of phases, like waves that come and go. some of the steps are shock or disbelief, which I certainly am going through right now. Even though I know the last few months have been great, I'm still kind of shocked that it finally has come to a head and has ended. Reviewing and remembering the relationship are important steps. While it's important to allow yourself to remember the relationship, think about what you learned. What did I take from this relationship that I don't want to do next time? And also, when you're remembering, give yourself permission to remember the bad times. This relationship ended for a reason. The third and final step is acceptance. Accept that the relationship is over and you want to move forward. The third part of the process to moving on from a relationship breakup is dealing with challenges. Create distance. In the olden days, it was pretty easy to distance yourself from a relationship. You just avoided the places that he went or she went. If you know that she grocery shopped every Friday at 5 o'clock at the PNC, you don't go there. It was pretty simple. But today, with technology as it is, it's a lot harder to create distance from a person. They can email you, text you, call you. Your cell phone is in your pocket. How easy is it to pick it up in a weak moment and text your ex? Remember that you're trying to move forward. Look forward, not backwards. And finally, it's important to embrace being single. Like I said before, it's important to remember that you are a whole person. You're not half of a relationship. You don't need someone else to complete you. In reading this book, I found that these steps are doable. For some people, they may take just a few weeks, but for most of us, they'll take up to a year. For me personally, I think it may even be more than that. I certainly am far from ready to jumping back into the dating pool. I'm giving myself the time that I need to cope with the end of my relationship before I feel like getting back into the dating world. And I think it's important for all of us to do so that we don't make the same mistakes again. I hope that what I've discussed with you today will be helpful to you and that you remember this in your own experiences down the line. Thanks for listening and have a great day.